A grandmother in Miami just got arrested at TSA. Her crime? Carrying something 80% of travelers don't know is illegal. The fine was $1,200. The item? You probably have one in your bag right now. In the last 6 months, airport security rules changed in ways nobody told you about. And what was fined last year can now get you handcuffed this year. We're counting down 10 everyday items that can get you fined, detained, or arrested at airport security in 2025. But here's the terrifying part. Number 3 on this list is something travel experts recommend, and it just became illegal in 14 countries. And the final item? It's so common, TSA confiscates over 10,000 of them every single week. Yet nobody talks about it. One of these items can get you banned from flying for life. Another can land you on a federal watch list. Stay till the end. Your next trip depends on it. TM number 10. Smart luggage with non-removable batteries. Let's start with the trap that catches tech-savvy travelers every single day. Smart luggage, built-in chargers, GPS tracking, digital locks. It's the future of travel, right? Wrong. If the battery isn't removable, TSA will confiscate it on the spot. No warnings, no exceptions. But here's the twist nobody sees coming. Even if you remove the battery at the checkpoint, it's too late. The luggage itself is now classified as hazardous material because lithium batteries have caused cargo hold fires. 3 planes. 17 deaths. Airlines don't take chances anymore. And here's where it gets expensive. These smart bags cost $300 to $600. TSA doesn't compensate you. They just throw it in the bin and wave you through. But what shocks people most? The rule applies to checked bags too. You can't check smart luggage with non-removable batteries. Period. Even in the cargo hold. Even if it's powered off. So that $500 away bag you bought last year. It's now airport contraband. The solution? Only buy smart luggage with easily removable battery packs. The kind you can pop out in 5 seconds and carry in your pocket. But if you think that's a gotcha rule, wait until you hear what happened with the next item. Item number 9. Liquid vape cartridges over 100 ml. Vaping is legal. Traveling with vape devices is legal. So what's the problem? The liquid. TSA's 3.4-ounce rule applies to vape juice. But here's the catch. Most travelers don't measure their cartridges. That refillable tank, it holds 5 ounces. That's over the limit. And unlike a bottle of shampoo they'll just throw away, vape products trigger a different response because they contain nicotine, a controlled substance in some jurisdictions. 3 airports in Texas started arresting people for vape liquid violations, not fining them, arresting them. Why? Because prosecutors argue it's drug paraphernalia, and if you're crossing state lines, it becomes a federal issue. But here's the twist. That's catching international travelers. Some countries ban vaping entirely. Thailand will arrest you for vaping. Singapore fines you $20,000. Qatar considers it drug smuggling. A British traveler got detained in Dubai for 3 weeks over 2 vape cartridges in his carry-on. He was just transiting to India. Never left the airport. Still got arrested. The solution? Check your destination's laws. Empty your tanks before flying. And stick to sealed factory cartridges under the liquid limit. But the next item is causing chaos in ways nobody predicted. Item number 8. Portable chargers over 100 watt-hours. Your phone's dying. Your laptop needs juice. So you packed a massive portable charger. Smart, right? Not if it's over 100 watt-hours. Most travelers have no idea what watt-hours even means. Here's the simple math. Take the milliamp hours on your battery pack and multiply by the voltage, then divide by 1000. A 20,000 milliamp hour battery at 5 volts? That's 100 watt-hours exactly. You're at the legal limit. But here's where people get wrecked. Those heavy-duty chargers for laptops and cameras, they're often 150 to 200 watt-hours. Those are banned in carry-on and checked bags. Airlines classify them as fire hazards. And the penalty isn't just confiscation. It's a $500 fine on the spot. But here's the trap within the trap. Some power banks don't list their watt-hour rating. They only show milliamp hours. And if TSA can't verify it's legal, they confiscate it by default. A photographer in Seattle lost an $800 power station because it didn't have clear labeling. He had the specs on his phone. Showed them the manufacturer's website. Didn't matter. No visible watt-hour rating. It goes in the bin. The solution? Buy power banks specifically designed for air travel. They have the watt-hour rating printed clearly on the case. And stay under 100 watt-hours to avoid any grey areas. But if you think batteries are the only trap, the next item is hiding in plain sight. Item number 7. Realistic toy weapons. Your kid loves superheroes. You bought them a replica shield, a toy lightsaber, a foam sword from the theme park. TSA doesn't care that it's plastic. If it looks like a weapon, it's treated like a weapon. And here's where parents get blindsided. The rules changed in 2024. What used to get a "please check that" now gets you pulled into secondary screening because there have been incidents. Passengers using realistic toy guns to intimidate flight attendants. Replica knives causing panic mid-flight. So now TSA draws a hard line. If it resembles a weapon, it doesn't fly carry-on, even if it's clearly a toy, even if it's bright orange. But here's the nightmare scenario that made headlines. A family returning from Comic-Con with prop weapons got detained for 4 hours. The props were clearly costumes. Foam swords, plastic shields, a toy hammer. Didn't matter. TSA flagged them as potential weapons. Cops were called. Statements were taken. The family missed their flight, lost $800 in rebooking fees, and the items confiscated. And the dad got put on a TSA watch list for attempting to bring weapons through security. Now he gets extra screening every single flight. The solution? Ship souvenirs home. Or check them. Never assume it's obviously a toy will work with security. But the next item causes more confusion than anything else on this list. Item number 6. Spreadable foods and certain liquids. You're bringing food from home, saving money, eating healthy. What could go wrong? Everything. TSA's liquid rule applies to anything gel-like, spreadable, or pourable, and their interpretation is wildly inconsistent. Peanut butter? That's a liquid. Confiscated. Hummus? Liquid. Gone. Salsa? Definitely liquid. Bin. But here's where it gets absurd. They've confiscated yogurt, pudding, and even cream cheese. Because it spreads. One passenger had homemade jam confiscated. 4 jars, $40 worth, made by her grandmother. TSA agents' reasoning? If you can spread it, it's a liquid. By that logic, butter is liquid, which it is according to TSA. But here's the inconsistency that drives people crazy. Solid chocolate is fine, but chocolate spread is liquid. And international flights are stricter. You can't bring fruit into Australia. Meat products are banned in New Zealand. Dairy is restricted across the EU. A traveller from Italy got fined €1,500 for having prosciutto in his bag. It was vacuum sealed, still illegal, because agricultural customs treats food as biological material. One piece of contaminated meat can trigger a disease outbreak. The solution? Research agricultural restrictions for your destination. Keep spreads under 3.4 ounces. And assume any food product might get flagged. But the next item is catching people off guard in terrifying ways. Item number 5. Self-defense items including pepper spray. You're traveling alone, safety conscious. You packed pepper spray in your purse. Congratulations. You just committed a federal offense. Pepper spray is illegal in carry-on luggage. Period. Even the tiny keychain versions. Even if it's legal where you live. And the penalties are severe. Up to 11 years in federal prison under Title 49 of US Code. Most people just get fined. $800 to $3,000 depending on the jurisdiction. But here's the trap. Some self-defense items look innocent. Tactical pens. They're just pens, right? Wrong. If TSA determines it's designed as a weapon, you're detained. Kubotans. Those little keychain sticks. Illegal. And here's where it gets subjective. The TSA agent makes the call. One agent might wave you through. The next might arrest you. It's the same item. Different interpretation. Your freedom depends on who's working that shift. But the international consequences are worse. Dubai arrests people for pepper spray. It's classified as a weapon. Possession carries a 4-year prison sentence. A Canadian woman spent 6 weeks in a UAE jail over a keychain pepper spray she forgot was in her bag. 6 weeks in jail, $80,000 in legal fees, and she's permanently banned from the UAE. The solution? Leave self-defense items at home. Research local laws if you must have protection at your destination, and check your bags thoroughly for forgotten items. But the next item is so common, people don't even think twice about packing it. Item number 4. Torch lighters and strike anywhere matches. You smoke, you packed a lighter. Simple, right? Depends on the lighter. Disposable lighters are allowed, 1 per passenger, in your pocket or carry-on. But torch lighters? Banned. Completely prohibited in carry-on and checked bags. And here's where smokers get destroyed. Most don't know the difference. A torch lighter has a concentrated blue flame, used for cigars, camping, or culinary purposes. They burn hotter and windproof. TSA considers them weapons, because they can start fires that water won't extinguish. And matches? You can carry 1 book of safety matches in carry-on. That's it. Strike anywhere. Matches? Federal crime. Up to 10 years in prison. A hiker in Colorado got arrested for having a box of strike anywhere matches in his backpack. He was heading to a camping trip, bought them at a sporting goods store. Didn't matter. They're classified as hazardous materials. The fine was $2,000. But here's the absurd part. You can't pack any lighters in checked baggage, even the disposable ones. So your options are carry 1 disposable lighter in your pocket or buy one at your destination. That's it. The solution is simple. Stick to 1 cheap disposable lighter in your pocket and leave the fancy torch lighters at home. But the next item is causing absolute chaos at checkpoints worldwide. Item number 3. Loose or damaged lithium batteries. Your laptop has a battery, your phone has a battery, your headphones have a battery. Batteries everywhere. So what's the problem? Loose lithium batteries in your bag. If it's not installed in a device, it needs to be in original packaging or have terminals protected. Tape over the contacts. Individual plastic bags. Something to prevent short circuits. Because loose batteries touching metal, keys, coins, other batteries can spark. And spark turns into fire. And fire in a pressurized cabin at 35,000 feet is catastrophic. But here's what's catching travelers off guard. Damaged batteries are now instant bans. That phone with a swollen battery? Banned. Can't fly with it. Not in carry-on. Not in checked bags. Not in your pocket. And if TSA spots it, they confiscate the entire device. Not just the battery. The whole phone. A passenger in Atlanta had an iPhone with a slightly swollen battery. She didn't even notice. TSA did. They took the phone, gave her a receipt, and told her to file a claim with Apple. Apple denied the claim. Not their problem. She was out $900. But here's the new rule that's destroying people. Spare batteries over 100 watt-hours require airline approval. Most people don't know this. They just pack camera batteries, drone batteries, power tool batteries, all over 100 watt-hours, all illegal without pre-approval. And getting approval, you need to contact the airline 72 hours before your flight, submit battery specs, wait for written authorization, bring printed proof to the airport. Nobody does this, so their equipment gets confiscated. Professional photographers are getting destroyed, their entire kit, thousands of dollars in batteries, gone. The solution? Check watt-hour ratings on all batteries. Tape terminals on spares. Keep them in carry-on only. And get airline approval for anything over 100 watt-hours. But if you think batteries are the ultimate gotcha, wait until you hear about number 2. Item number 2. CBD products and hemp-derived items. CBD is legal federally. It's in gas stations, pharmacies, health food stores. So, traveling with it should be fine, right? Not even close. Here's the nightmare. TSA follows federal law. CBD derived from hemp with less than 0.3% THC is technically legal, but TSA agents can't test your CBD on the spot. They don't have the equipment, so if they find CBD products, they call local police. And now you're subject to state law. Flying from California to New York, both states allow CBD. No problem. Flying from Colorado to Texas, Texas has stricter rules. You could get arrested. And here's where it gets insane. TSA's official policy is, we don't search for drugs. But if they find something, they're required to report it. So your CBD gummies trigger a bag search. TSA finds them. Calls police. And now you're explaining to cops that it's legal CBD, not illegal THC. Good luck proving that without a lab test. A grandmother in Dallas got arrested for CBD oil. It was for her arthritis, prescribed by her doctor, bought from a licensed dispensary. Didn't matter. Texas law requires specific hemp licenses. Her product didn't have the right paperwork. She spent 12 hours in jail, posted $5,000 bail. The charges were eventually dropped, but she's now in the system. And international flights? CBD is illegal in most countries. Japan will arrest you. China considers it a drug. Dubai classifies it as narcotics trafficking. Possession carries 4 years to life in prison depending on the country. A British DJ got 4 years in Dubai for having CBD vape oil. It was legal where he bought it. Didn't matter. 4 years in a foreign prison for something you can buy at a mall kiosk in America. The solution? Don't travel with CBD. Period. Not worth the risk. If you absolutely need it, research every jurisdiction you'll pass through and bring documentation proving it's legal. But the final item on this list is so common. TSA confiscates over 10,000 per week. But the number one item getting people fined, arrested, and banned from flying, it's so ordinary, so everyday, that 80% of confiscations are complete accidents. People genuinely forget they have it. And the consequences are getting more severe every single month. This item has caused more checkpoint delays than every other item combined. Item number 1, pocket knives and multi-tools. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Millions of people carry pocket knives daily. It's a tool. It's practical. It's part of their everyday carry. And they forget it's in their pocket, or their bag, or clipped to their belt. Then they get to TSA, and their life gets complicated. Because post 9/11, knives of any size are prohibited in carry-on luggage, even tiny Swiss Army knives, even if the blade is under 2 inches. Zero tolerance. And here's what destroys people. TSA confiscates 10,000 knives every week. That's over 500,000 per year. Leatherman multi-tools, expensive pocket knives, sentimental heirlooms passed down through generations, all thrown in a bin and destroyed. But the penalties are escalating. It used to be simple confiscation. Now, fines are becoming standard. $300 for a first offense, $800 for repeat violations. And if TSA thinks you were trying to hide it, that's intent to bring a weapon aboard. Federal crime. Up to 5 years in prison. It doesn't matter that you were planning to use the scissors, not the knife. The presence of a blade makes the entire tool illegal, and TSA agents have zero discretion. The rule is absolute. But international consequences are worse. Some countries treat pocket knives as weapons charges. The UK arrested an American tourist for having a Leatherman in his checked bag. He wasn't even carrying it on his person. British law requires good reason to carry a locking blade. Tourism isn't good enough reason. He was charged with weapons possession, fined £1,200, banned from the UK for 3 years. And the worst part? There's no national database of confiscated items. If TSA takes your grandfather's antique pocket knife, it's gone forever. No claim process, no compensation, just gone. The solution? Empty your pockets before packing. Check every compartment in your bag. Run your hands through every pocket. And if you must travel with a knife, check it. In a locked hard case. With a declaration form. It's the only legal way. 10 items, 10 ways to ruin your trip. Airport security isn't getting more relaxed, it's getting stricter, more automated, less forgiving. And the rules change constantly. What was fine last year is a federal offense this year. The grandmother with CBD oil didn't know. The photographer with batteries didn't know. The dad with toy weapons didn't know. Ignorance isn't a defense, it's just an expensive lesson. So before your next flight, check your bags. Research your destination, and assume nothing is allowed unless you've verified it, because a 5-minute bag check at home saves you from a 5-hour detention at the airport. If this video saved you from a potential disaster, hit that like button. Subscribe for more travel survival guides that keep you out of trouble and on your flight. Safe travels, and double check those pockets.